Hey everybody, and welcome to How I Built Bits, a clip show that surfaces some of the best advice from nearly 300 interviews of how I built it in 15 minutes or less. The clock's ticking, so let's dive into this clip from Jeff Sheldon, who gives us advice on what to do when you have too many ideas to explore all of them. But first, a word from our sponsor. This episode is brought to you by WP Wallet. Do you manage websites for clients? Do you feel on the hook for the cost of premium plugins? WP Wallet fixes that. WP Wallet is a free, simple, intelligent tool that helps WordPress professionals like you manage all your license keys and invoices for all your sites and clients. Sign up for a free account, connect a website, and WP Wallet automatically scans that site for plugins and marks the premium ones, even adding prices. No more making the decision of buying the plugin yourself or talking your client through the purchase process. WP Wallet gives you the best of both worlds. As someone who's managed multiple WordPress sites with premium plugins, this tool is a lifesaver. It will even allow you to send recurring invoices to your clients that can be paid on the spot. Never forget a renewal, lose a license key, or miss out on a reimbursement again. Join WP Wallet for free at wpwallet.com/Joe.
I think that's the struggle that any entrepreneur or creative person faces, because there's more opportunities than there is time, and making the decision of what I'm going to spend my time on is something I struggle with all the time. I actually just tweeted yesterday, there's things that I should be working on, things that I want to be working on, I usually default to working on the things that I want to be working on. So for me, I know there's certain things that is our bread and butter: designing t-shirts, selling t-shirts. Every survey we put out, people want more shirts, more colors. I can't ignore that request, even though I've been doing this for 8 years. I've been releasing shirts for 8 years. So making sure that I'm not ignoring those key things, and then making sure I'm also making time for the things that I want to be working on, like these other product ideas, but just trying to find that focus and that balance. I think it's like a constant struggle. It's really just I don't even know how to explain it, but when you can't stop thinking about a certain idea and that one idea keeps coming to the surface, usually that's the thing you should be working on on the side, or in addition to the bread and butter.
Gotcha. That's pretty great. That's great advice. If it keeps coming up, it's definitely worth exploring, because, you can have these kind of fleeting ideas like, oh, that would be cool. But if you never think about it again, it might not be worth investing in. But
yeah. And what's the goal of those projects? Sometimes it's like, oh, I could build this app, or I could do this thing. But just because you can doesn't mean if you're not passionate about it, you're not interested, or you're just saying it as a way maybe to make some quick money because something's, current and hot right now that you think you could cash in on. That's going to die off pretty quickly. But if it's that idea that's every time you pull out your phone, you're like, I wish this app existed. I keep trying to do this and no one's making it. I feel like that's gotten much more weight to it to spend time developing and figuring out, because it's something that you're going to be excited about for a while.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's something that you use. You started Ugmonk because you wanted t-shirts that other people weren't making. And so you've built a business out of that, because it brings the passion, and even on days where you're getting trouble motivated, you're still working on something you're really passionate about, which is very cool.
Exactly.
So I want to ask the last question. So I have a two-part last question. So we'll just get this one out of the way, because I think you hint at on your website that this is a secret you keep close to your chest. But how did you come up with the name Ugmonk?
Yeah, I figured you might ask. Maybe someday we'll reveal the actual origin story or the meaning behind the word. The origin story we tell, and basically when I was starting back in 2008 and was designing these shirts, I hadn't really thought through it much. I didn't think about what am I going to call it? What's the website URL? What's the logo? That was all almost an afterthought. And then when I was trying to go through word games to come up with creative names, and I wasn't really approaching it from this is going to be what I'm doing for the rest of my life or for the next 8 years. It was just I need to call this side project something. And all the words that we came up with were just, it felt like we were trying too hard, and just weren't really original or unique. So we were joking around and threw out different words that we had made up that were just like inside jokes and Googling them, just on a whim. And we Googled the word Ugmonk and there was like no results or one result in another language. And then the URL was open. It's short. It's 5 letters or 6 letters. And we grabbed it and just went with it. It was like literally that was all the thought that went into it. But now if you Google the word Ugmonk, there's like 50,000 or 60,000 results on Google that all come back to our site because we're the only one. So it was a kind of a fun branding, a happy accident. And it's become, it's memorable and weird enough that we got to define like what Ugmonk is.
Cool. That's awesome. And on that note, what trade secrets do you have any trade secrets for us? Something that kind of keeps you on track, and this could be something that you apply to business or life or whatever.
I don't know if I have any trade secrets because I feel like most of the trade secrets are like you read these 15 things lists, 15 ways to stay super productive, and all of these like clickbait list, and then you read through them and you realize like none of it was actually a trade secret, which goes back to like I feel like the most successful people are not the ones that are just trying to find the secrets or the magic. Like there's certainly tools and there's ways and methods that enhance your productivity and that can aid in that, but then there's really, when it gets down to it, I feel like the biggest trade secret is like just go do the work, and even when it's hard, do the work. Even when you hit a roadblock, do the work. When you get stuck, ask for help and just keep pushing through. It's not like a magic trick to do that, but I think that's where a lot of people fall into. As soon as their project hits a roadblock, they kind of give up, or they get stressed out and they give it up. They stop working on it.
All right, that's it for this bit. If you liked it, be sure to subscribe to How I Built It and join the mailing list to get more bite-sized advice for creators and small business owners. You can do both of those things at howibuilt.it/subscribe. I'm Joe Casabona, and until next time, get out there and build something.